Your Mac can now be the computer that Codex works on, while your phone becomes the remote control. That is the simplest way to understand the new Codex remote control feature. Codex still runs where your files, tools, terminals, browser sessions, plugins, and permissions already live. But you can start work, answer questions, approve commands, and review results from the ChatGPT mobile app while you are away from your desk. Okay, so what changed? OpenAI added a mobile Codex experience inside ChatGPT. Once you connect it to a Codex host, the phone can see active projects and threads from that host. You can start a new task, continue an existing one, review terminal output, look at screenshots, and approve actions. This is built for work that keeps moving while you are not sitting at the machine. The mental model is pretty straightforward. Your computer is essentially acting like a small private server for Codex. It has the repo, the shell, your installed tools, your browser setup, and any credentials that you already use locally. The phone sends prompts and decisions into that running environment. Codex does the actual work on the connected host, then streams the state back to your phone. The setup starts in the Codex app on the Mac you want to control. Open Codex on that host, choose Set up Codex Mobile, and the app shows a QR code. Scan it with your phone, finish the ChatGPT setup flow, and confirm that the same account and workspace are selected. After the connection succeeds, that host appears inside Codex on your phone. There are a few practical requirements. You need Codex access in the ChatGPT account and workspace you plan to use. You need the latest ChatGPT mobile app on iOS or Android. For mobile control, the host currently needs to be the Codex app for macOS, signed into the same account and workspace. If your organization uses SSO, multi-factor authentication, or workspace controls, finish those prompts too. The host matters because it is where the work actually happens. If the Mac goes to sleep, loses network access, or closes Codex, remote access stops until that machine comes back. For occasional use, your normal laptop is fine. For longer tasks, OpenAI recommends thinking about an always-on Mac or a remote environment. At minimum, keep the host plugged in and use the Keep Awake setting when Codex is working. This is useful because the blocking moment in agentic coding is often small. Codex might need permission to run a command. It might need you to choose between two approaches. It might have a diff ready for review while you are between meetings. Remote control turns those moments into short phone interactions instead of leaving the thread parked until you return. There is also a remote development version of this. If the project already lives on a dev box, Codex can work through an SSH host. The Codex app reads host aliases from your SSH config, connects through OpenSSH, and runs threads against the remote file system and shell. Your phone still connects to the Codex app host, but the code execution can happen in the remote environment where the dependencies and compute already exist. Security is a real part of the feature. The official docs say Codex uses a secure relay, so trusted machines stay reachable across authorized ChatGPT devices without exposing them directly to the public internet. For SSH, use trusted keys, least privilege accounts, and local host forwarding. Do not expose an unauthenticated app server listener on a shared or public network. If you need access across networks, use a VPN or mesh tool instead. One feature that pairs well with remote control is /goal. A goal gives Codex a persistent objective inside a thread. Use it when the finish line is clear, but the path is uncertain, like reducing latency, chasing a flaky test, or doing a benchmark-driven cleanup. The stronger version names the desired result, the evidence that proves it, the constraints that must stay intact, and when Codex should stop and ask for help. A normal use case looks like this. You notice a failing test or a broken deployment while you are away from the desk. From your phone, you ask Codex to inspect it on the host machine. Codex reads the repo, runs the narrow command, and asks before doing anything sensitive. You approve the command, review the patch, and tell it whether to run the full suite. The machine did the heavy work. You handled the decisions. So the practical setup is simple. Start with the Mac, where your projects already work. Pair it with ChatGPT Mobile. Keep it awake for tasks that need time. Use SSH when the real environment lives somewhere else. Then use /goal for the longer work, where Codex should keep checking evidence instead of waiting after each small step. For more practical AI development tutorials, subscribe to Build Things with AI.